Hello. Just so everyone knows, it looks like Elizabeth and Robin are here. I am on Chris's phone today.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, let's see how I can turn up the volume.
Good morning.
That might be as loud as it gets. Good morning. Uh-oh, I need Face ID or your passcode. Shoot. Hey, Chris, can you turn this back on? It it went to sleep.
It's actually.
The microphone.
I know. If you push this button on the side here, it'll lock it.
Okay, I think that's what I did.
I think that's what you did. Yeah, because it's set not to.
Okay, here, if you'll reach forward further. Here we go. All right, sorry about that, folks. I'm not used to using an iPhone. Good morning, Daphne. Who else we got here? There's Suzanne and Lori. For those that missed it, I'm on Chris's phone today. How is everybody this morning?
Tired.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to move, so I'm waking up like freaking out that I'm forgetting things, and
Oh gosh.
this has actually been very helpful.
That's
The
great.
meditating. And it's put a little bit of space between that anxiety and like planning. Okay, I know you're freaking out, but what do we need to do? Let's make that checklist and
I absolutely love hearing that. That's what I feel like meditation does for me too. It just sort of creates that buffer. It's like there's a gap between our feelings and our reactions. And when we have that sort of like when we're not in a great place, that gap is so small that it's like we don't even have one. It just skips right from one to the other. We have feelings and then we react to them. But when we meditate and we practice that space and just being in that space, it's like that gap grows and then we can kind of live in that gap, and we have our feelings on one side and we have what we do on the other side, and we're right there in the middle and we get to choose. We're no longer reacting to things, we get to respond to things. So you get that anxiety that comes in, and instead of just like spinning in circles with your mind racing, you're making your list.
I'm glad that you mentioned that at one point when we were discussing like how we could tell whether or not meditation was working, because I, like everybody else, started off kind of like, I don't, is this what is, and I hadn't given myself that kind of space in a very long time. And all of a sudden one day I realized like I am stopping and I'm thinking about things much more frequently throughout the day than I ever have before. And maybe that is correlated to that time in the morning that I actually get up and spend. So I appreciate you giving us that like benchmark to begin
Yes.
with.
I absolutely love hearing that you're seeing that that's what's going on. It's meditation is sneaky like that. It starts to infiltrate every area of your life in ways that you weren't expecting. You start to feel calmer, you start to have that gap that you can live in, you start to breathe easier. It's just all of these little things, they start to add up. And then one day you just notice like something's different. Let's see what time we have here. Oh, yes. Let's go ahead and get started. So, Elizabeth, yeah, I was going to ask if you could mute. And I think, Lori, it looks like you're unmuted too. There we go. And we will go ahead and just sort of start to bring ourselves into center. Just a couple of the physical reminders again. Sitting up, sit bones making contact with whatever is beneath you, be that a chair, be that the floor, sitting on something, a surface hard enough to give you some stability under there. And then feeling your spine move up long and tall, kind of imagining that space in between each vertebra, growing up the spine, up through the vertebrae of the neck, imagining that the skull is just a big balloon floating up and away. Your chin is slightly tucked. Let the muscles in the mask of the face relax so that you can breathe through your nose and just feel the gentle in and out of the air on your nostrils. Fun fact, our nostrils alternate how much air flows through them throughout the day. So if it feels like you can breathe better through one nostril, that's completely normal. They're designed to do that. It usually shifts about every 20 minutes in a healthy individual. But just feeling that gentle flow of air through both of them, one a little more than the other, letting that go. Eyes gently closed, hands relaxed, either in the lap or you can have it on the knees. And just bringing yourself inward, picking a thought, an image, a sensation to use as your anchor to keep guiding your thoughts back to a place of stillness. Doesn't matter where that place is, just one fixed point where you can keep corralling your thoughts back and letting them calm down. Corralling the mind back and letting it calm down for 15 minutes. Om. Coming back into the world, back into your body. And I'm going to switch things up at the last minute today. I had a quote picked out, but what we were talking about earlier reminded me of another one that I want to share. I don't have the exact quote written down, but the gist of it is Gandhi was talking to his advisors, or giving some advice on how you should meditate, and talking about what to do if you don't have time to meditate. If you're too busy in a day, what do you do? And his take on it was, I meditate for an hour every day. Unless I'm too busy, then I meditate for 2 hours. And I think that ties in really nicely with what we were saying earlier, because meditation is something that tends to have like as great or greater of a return than what you put into it. So it's kind of like sharpening a knife. You can try to save time by just using the knife and not taking the time to sharpen it at the beginning, but it's just going to end up with kind of messier results that don't get done as fast anyway. Whereas if you take the time to meditate and you really take that extra, be it 15 minutes, be it 30 minutes, be it an hour every day, whatever you put into it, it's going to come back to you, because it's going to change your relationship with the world around you and with the people around you for the better. And it's going to make everything you do easier in its own way. So I will leave you with that for today.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I hope everyone has a great week.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.